Artificial intelligence is sounding an alarm. Complex computer programs are detecting dangerous economic patterns emerging on the global stage. These patterns seem to coincide with Donald Trump's return to the forefront of political discussions. These AI systems are not biased. They simply process enormous amounts of information, news reports, financial data, historical trends, and even social media activity. What they are finding points towards a growing risk of significant economic instability, potentially culminating around the year 2025. This isn't about political preferences. Today, we're exploring what the data suggests when analyzed by some of the most powerful computational tools ever created. Think of AI as an incredibly fast, data-hungry analyst. It looks for connections and calculates probabilities based on past events. The probabilities it's calculating right now are raising red flags about the health of the global economy in the near future. The AI is essentially highlighting potential dangers ahead based on the patterns it recognizes. How AI tries to predict the economic future. How can computers predict something as complex and human-driven as the economy? They do it by learning from the past. AI systems are fed vast amounts of historical economic data. This includes information about economic growth, stock market performance, interest rates, inflation, unemployment figures, international trade levels, and government policies from many different countries over many years. The AI searches for patterns within this data. It learns, for instance, what typically happens to consumer spending when unemployment starts to rise, or how financial markets tend to react to sudden changes in oil prices. It identifies thousands of these relationships, many too subtle for humans to spot easily. Modern AI can also understand language. It reads and analyzes news articles, reports from financial institutions, speeches by world leaders, and even social media posts. It learns how the words people use and the sentiments expressed relate to economic actions. For example, it might find that an increase in worried language in financial news often precedes a drop in investment. By combining number crunching with language analysis, AI builds a detailed map of how economic events have unfolded in the past, learning the patterns of cause and effect. Why Donald Trump is a key factor in AI calculations. Why is Donald Trump featuring significantly in these AI economic forecasts for 2025? It comes down to influence and historical data. As a major political figure in the world's largest economy, his actions and potential policies have a huge impact that extends globally. Changes originating in the US can affect trade, investment, and economic confidence worldwide. His previous time in office provides a specific dataset that AI can study closely. That period included distinct policy initiatives like tax reforms, deregulation, and the imposition of trade tariffs. His communication style was also notably different, often directly impacting market sentiment through social media. AI models analyze the economic consequences of those specific policies and communication patterns. Because his approach has historically involved significant and sometimes abrupt shifts, AI algorithms classify his potential influence as a major variable that could significantly change economic outcomes compared to more predictable scenarios. The AI sees his track record as one associated with increased volatility and notable economic changes, making it a critical factor in assessing future risks. AI deciphers the digital trail, analyzing tweets and statements. A key part of the AI analysis involves processing Donald Trump's public communications, especially his social media activity and speeches. AI uses natural language processing to understand the meaning and sentiment behind its words. The AI systems read these communications and identify key themes. Our discussions revolving around international trade, specific countries, tax policies, regulations, or energy. The AI tracks how often these topics appear. A sudden focus on trade deficits based on past patterns might be interpreted by the AI as an increased likelihood of new tariffs or trade negotiations. Sentiment analysis is also crucial. The AI gauges the emotional tone. Is it optimistic, critical, aggressive, or conciliatory? Past data might show the AI that a series of confrontational statements about trade partners often led to dips in related markets or increased uncertainty among international businesses. The AI learns these correlations between language and economic reaction. It flags keywords or phrases that were historically linked to significant policy shifts or market movements, assessing their potential implications if they reappear. This constant monitoring aims to provide an early warning based on the observed historical connection between his specific communication patterns and subsequent economic events. AI monitors the global reaction. Beyond analyzing direct communications, the AI also tracks how the world is reacting. It scans and interprets thousands of news articles, opinion pieces, and financial analyses from across the globe every day. This provides a broad perspective on global sentiment and expectations. Using NLP, the AI identifies the dominant narratives in the news concerning Trump's potential economic impact. Are media outlets focusing on risks related to trade wars, deregulation benefits, impacts on international relations, or concerns about fiscal policy? The AI measures the prevalence of these different themes. It also assesses the overall sentiment of this global news coverage. Is the tone generally positive, negative, or neutral when discussing the potential economic consequences? Does this sentiment differ significantly between regions? For example, European news might focus more heavily on trade implications, while Asian news might emphasize geopolitical stability. The AI captures these regional differences in perception. It then looks for historical links between surges in specific types of news coverage and subsequent economic data points. For instance, did a wave of news articles about potential trade disruptions precede a drop in global shipping indices in the past? This analysis helps the AI gauge the level of global business confidence and anticipate potential economic shifts influenced by media narratives and widespread expectations. AI learns from history, analyzing past economic decisions. Perhaps the most critical component is the AI's analysis of the actual results of economic policies implemented during Trump's previous term. The AI focuses purely on the data, setting aside political claims and promises. It asks, what really happened to the economy? Consider the tax cuts enacted previously. AI analyzes data like GDP growth, business investment figures, job creation rates, and the national debt trajectory before and after the policy change. It compares these outcomes to forecasts and to the performance of other similar economies. Did the data show a significant boost primarily benefiting certain groups, or did it align with the broader predicted effects? Think about the trade tariffs imposed. AI examines trade statistics, the prices of affected goods, manufacturing output, and employment data. Did the trade deficit shrink significantly as intended? What was the cost to consumers? How were U.S. exporters affected by retaliatory tariffs from other countries? The AI uses concrete data to measure the net impact. The regulation efforts are similarly analyzed. The AI looks for correlations between regulatory changes and data related to environmental impacts, worker safety, or financial market indicators in the affected sectors. By studying these real-world consequences, the AI learns which types of policies tend to lead to specific outcomes, stimulating certain sectors, increasing debt, causing trade friction, or boosting market volatility. When signals suggest similar policies might return, the AI draws upon this historical data to project the likely impact in today's economic environment, forming a data-driven basis for its 2025 predictions. Connecting past patterns to future probabilities. This is where the AI moves from analysis to forecasting. It integrates all the information, the analysis of communications, news sentiment, and the measured impact of past policies into complex predictive models. These models simulate how the economy might evolve under different scenarios. The AI understands the interconnectedness of economic factors. A tariff decision can affect inflation, which influences interest rates, which impacts investment, and so on. The AI models attempt to capture these ripple effects. They run thousands of simulations based on different potential policy choices or external events. What if new tariffs are imposed? What if a major international agreement is altered? What if market uncertainty persists? Each simulation generates a possible path for key economic indicators. By running numerous simulations, the AI calculates probabilities rather than predicting a single definite future. It might determine that based on current trends and potential policy shifts associated with Trump, there's a specific percentage chance of a global slowdown or recession in 2025. Potential economic storm clouds. Scenarios flagged by AI. Based on this probabilistic modeling, the AI highlights several scenarios that contribute to the warnings about the global economy in 2025. These are potential futures with calculated likelihoods, not certainties. A major risk identified is the potential for intensified global trade conflicts. Recalling the disruptions caused by previous tariffs, AI models calculate that a new, possibly broader round of trade restrictions could severely snarl international supply chains, leading to higher consumer prices and damaging export-focused economies. Retaliation could further stifle global trade. The AI assigns a significant probability to this scenario, leading to a global manufacturing slowdown and possibly contributing to a recession. Heightened market volatility driven by unpredictable policies is a major concern, with AI analysis showing that uncertainty triggers negative market reactions. Sudden policy shifts or aggressive rhetoric can destabilize stocks and currencies, slowing both investment and consumer spending. AI also flags rising geopolitical tensions, warning that weakened alliances or broken agreements could disrupt trade, energy, and global cooperation. Fiscal risks are likewise significant. AI projects that unchecked tax cuts without spending control may inflate national debt, raising borrowing costs and threatening long-term economic stability. These layered risks the models suggest could weigh heavily on future global growth. The signals from AI about the 2025 global economy and Trump's potential impact are based purely on data, not politics. These systems see rising risks of trade wars, instability, and global downturn. AI doesn't take sides. It just runs the numbers, and they're scary. So if you found this eye-opening, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more cutting-edge AI insights.